Hey everybody, this is graphic designer Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com helping you create something awesome today. Now in this video, I want you to hold on to your hats because I'm gonna get a little ranty. I'm usually a really positive and nice guy, but there's an issue in graphic design that's got me a little fired up. So today's video is going to be a rant on the tremendous disrespect that graphic designers and the graphic design profession is getting, especially lately. And it relates a lot to sites like Fiverr and crowdsourcing in general. And here's some of where my pet peeve comes in. It's not about me, because my clients are wonderful and tremendous and I have a great relationship with them. Business is going very well for me. So before anybody says, oh, here he goes, and it's because somebody, ticked him off, or, oh, he's threatened by Fiverr, understand that I'm not threatened by Fiverr any more than Olive Garden is threatened by Burger King. Okay, so most designers who have scaled to a certain point are doing effective marketing, have repeat customers in business. We're not worried about Fiverr for ourselves. We're worried about Fiverr and what it does to the creative services industry in general. We're worried about what crowdsourcing is doing in terms of creating bad habits where designers and clients are concerned. That's what we're worried about. Because creatives and artists are more emotionally based than logically based for the most part, we have a tremendous amount of empathy and we actually care about other people. We care about what happens to our craft and our industry, and we care about the quality of our work. So when we see something like crowdsourcing in Fiverr, where it's mass produced, where it's fast food, and people are glutting themselves on fast food and getting the consequences that go with that. We all are fully aware of what happens when you eat fast food every day, right? So that's not an investment in your health and your body and your nutrition. And fast food design, cheap, crowdsourced, and Fiverr, and so on and so forth, that stuff has the same impact in your business, in your profession, in the representation of your branding, that making fast food a habit would be as well. Now granted, it's more expensive to eat at a nice restaurant like, an Olive Garden or a Ryan's or what have you. It is more expensive to do that. It is more expensive to order a single meal than go to the buffet line. But we all know that in the end, it's healthier. We know that people who want to be healthy and want to be fit don't put trash in their body. They put things of quality in their body, and they spend the extra money that requires because they want to live longer. Well, if you want your business to be represented very well, and you want to have a relationship and develop good client service habits, and you want to really invest in the face of your company, would you go if there was something wrong, if there was a problem with your face? Would you go shopping for a bargain basement dermatologist? Would you go searching for a bargain basement, the cheapest you can find plastic surgeon? Or would you buy the best that you could afford to fix your face? I really want you to take that into context. Let's go another route with this. In keeping with my trend on fast food versus, better food, if you were going out on a date, I know if I was taking a young lady out on a date, I'm not taking her to Burger King, I'm not taking her to McDonald's. That's food. And I could still laugh and joke and make it a great experience, but guess what? It still represents me badly. And I wouldn't go bragging to people that, oh yeah, I took, what's her name to like McDonald's, it was great, she had a McFlurry. No, I wouldn't be bragging on that. No. So when people, and here's a story for you from the graphic designer tip lounge community, which was started by Stephen Looney, and I highly recommend if you're a graphic designer, you check that out. You'll meet some tremendous people, great relationships, and get some support. But someone in the tip lounge was talking about this, and their brother-in-law was bragging about the fact that he went to Fiverr for a logo design, and then he told the designer that he didn't like it and bullied him into giving him a new design completely for free and not charging him anything. And he was beaming, he was smiling ear to ear about that. Really? Really? Because see, if I'm a customer, I'm immediately not doing business with you, because if you're gonna cut corners on the visual branding, if you're gonna brag about cheating someone out of their time for free, how do I know that you're not cutting corners on the product or service you're delivering for me to save every little buck and to get your margins and everything like that? No, when companies invest in quality, we trust them more. It's why we trust, I know that Apple does their, their factory thing and whatever, but the actual parts and hardware are really solid and we trust them a little more because of that. So it's the same thing. We like their parts and their build over certain things that are plasticky. And the same thing with other brands. I use, the brands that I use, I go with Nikon instead of other brands because of the build quality, etc., etc. So I mean, that's where I'm coming from with that, is that it represents you very poorly when you have to go around bragging about the deal that you got. You know what? Would you take a bargain basement lawyer? Are you going to take a public defender if you can afford something else? You're probably not. Are you going to go to the free clinic when you've got a health issue if you can afford not to? Probably not. So why is it that creative service professionals are not given the same respect? We have technical skills. We also have creative and artistic ability. And then on top of that, we are putting in the work. So when you think about all those things, valuing us at less than a grocery clerk makes absolutely no sense, and it's outrightly disrespectful. And then for the client side, in a lot of cases, they're cheating themselves, and a bargain is not a bargain. Now, if you wanted to do something yourself and like, well, I don't want to pay that because I could do it yourself. It's not about that. It's about buying back your time as a CEO, because while you could do it yourself, if you don't have the training, the skills, and the talent, and even if you did, then you're not making that $1,000, $10,000 decision. So if you think you're saving $300 or $500 or $700 or whatever it is, you're not saving that money. You're costing yourself the time of being a CEO and making that $10,000 decision and making that $10,000 deal or that $100,000 deal. So doing it yourself, if you don't have the skill set, or if you have a better usage of your time, or you value your time higher than the rate of the designer hourly or whatever it is, then you're not really saving money. You're just absorbing that loss yourself. And I don't have an answer for that if that's what you want to do. I personally, if there's something that other people can do better that it doesn't equate to the value of my time, I will outsource it. I don't do my own taxes. I outsource that. There are other things that I outsource because it's not a valuable expenditure of my time. I outsource the yard work. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to mow my own lawn and spend 2 hours doing that instead of spending 2 hours doing client work. So, I mean, just take that into context, that cheap logo design, cheap graphic design, trying to nickel and dime your creative professionals and everything, it represents you badly, and you shouldn't go around bragging about it if you're going to do it, for one. And then two, it's really just outrightly unfair, and you don't do that with anybody else. I know you're not treating your electricians that way. I know you're not treating your plumbers that way. I know you can't go to a ISP like Time Warner and try and do business or haggle with them in that way. I don't understand why graphic designers and other creatives are being so disrespected by clients, and why the profession is being devalued so much, because it can't just be about the money. I think it might be a lack of understanding of what we actually do, what it actually takes, and if that's the case, it might be our fault as designers for not educating our clients appropriately and not standing up for ourselves and demanding better. Graphic designers, if you're watching it, you deserve better. You deserve better than Fiverr, you deserve better than crowdsourcing, and if you're a new graphic designer, you're like, that's the only way I can get clients, get out from behind the computer, go out there, network. And if you're an introvert, I know it's hard, do it anyway. Hand out business cards, get those clients, and get them to value the relationship. Do not be holding yourselves and not be lazy and be dependent on these crowdsourcing sites and on sites like Fiverr, because all it's going to do is suck you in to being, bottom tier and grabbing at low-hanging fruit, and you deserve better. I want you to understand that you deserve better. Clients, you deserve better than fast food graphic design. You deserve better than something mass produced. You deserve a relationship, you deserve to be valued, and you deserve to be able to rely on a quality vendor. And if you're going for fast food, you're gonna get the same results that you get with fast food. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the tremendous disrespect of the graphic design profession. I'm sure some of you might have differing opinions, so make sure you're leaving that in the comment section below, but make sure that it's not just you ranting and raving. I want you to really qualify this, and I want you to really think about what I said before you just try to justify your stance on this. Anyway, like this video if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, share it with friends, check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today.